Unit 2, Using Objects. Topic 2.2, Creating and Storing Objects, Instantiation. As programmers, we look for creative ways to store data. One of the ways data can be grouped and organized to minimize repetition is through the creation of classes. UML diagrams can be used for planning and organizing key parts of a class. In our last lesson, we instantiated or created objects, an instance of a class, by calling the constructor method. It is important to remember that the constructor method has the same name as its class. A signature consists of the constructor name and the parameter list. The parameter list in the header of a constructor lists the types of the values that are passed and their variable names. These are often referred to as formal parameters. This is the parameter list. It is contained within the parentheses. When declaring or defining the constructor method, these are called formal parameters. When calling the constructor method to instantiate an object, these parameters are called actual parameters as they are the actual values to be assigned to the object. A parameter is a value that is passed into a constructor. These are often referred to as actual parameters. Constructors are said to be overloaded when there are multiple constructors with the same name but a different signature. In this dog class, there are two constructor methods, a default constructor, which has no parameters, and one with a parameter list. When calling the constructor method to instantiate an object, which constructor will run? The default constructor or the one with the parameter list? The answer is, it depends. In this case, there are no parameters, so the default constructor will be used. Object D1 will have its instance variables assigned the following values. The string rover will be assigned to name, int 3 for health points, boolean true for is alive. In the case of object D2, its constructor contains a parameter list, so that is the one that will be used. The actual parameters passed to a constructor must be compatible with the types identified in the formal parameter list. Object D2 will have its instance variables assigned with actual parameter values. String Snoopy for name, integer 3 for health points, and boolean true for is alive. Parameters are passed using call by value. Call by value initializes the formal parameters with copies of the actual parameters. Every object is created using the keyword new, followed by a call to one of the class's constructors. Repetition builds permanence. A class contains constructors that are invoked to instantiate or create objects. They have the same name as its class.